What's up guys, Imbusloth here, back for some Magic the Gathering content. Today, we are talking about There and Back Again, because it is excellent value and that last line of text is absurd. So there's 3 of any color and 2 red for a saga that has Chapter 1. Up to 1 target creature can't block for as long as you control There and Back Again. The ring tempts you. Number 2, search your library for a mountain card, put it onto battlefield, then shuffle. Chapter 3, create a Smog, a legendary 6/6 red dragon creature token with flying haste, and when this creature dies, create 14 treasure tokens. 14! That is absolutely absurd. So a card that this really reminds me of is Fable of the Mirror Breaker, because both cards give you insane amount of value over a long period of time, and they're both red. Obviously, this is significantly worse in Modern because turn 5 is too slow, and 90% of the games you will not make it to turn 7 where you get the best thing. But in Commander, when the games are really long, this is excellent. So the first chapter is the worst chapter. Making a creature not be able to block for 2 turns is just decent, but sometimes you will pay the whole 5 mana because you just need to take out 1 blocker to swing in for lethal. So it is flexible in that. And the not being able to block is global, so it will help your opponents attack that player too, which is great. And if you're playing this in a dragon deck, which I think you should, because at the end it makes a 6/6 dragon with haste and flying, stopping a flying blocker could be really important for cards like Gnawbone, who makes treasures on combat damage, but also with the ancient dragons, because when they hit, you roll a d20 and you get an insane effect on it. So making sure that you can connect could be really important. So getting the ring to tempt you isn't that strong because most decks will not care about the ring tempting you. So it'll probably just give you the first effect, which is your ring bearer is legendary and can't be blocked by creatures with greater power, which could be fine. Again, if you're playing a dragon deck, that won't be too strong because normally dragons are bigger than your opponents, but it will give you some value. If you coincidentally play in a deck that cares about the ring tempting you, it could help you finishing. So I think it is the worst chapter, but it's still pretty strong, which is a testament to how powerful this card is. Chapter 2 is pretty good because it doesn't specify a basic mountain and it doesn't come into the battlefield tap, so it gives you a lot of options. First option is Triomes. There's a lot of Triomes that are technically mountains, so if you need mana fixing, you can get it. You can also get Shocklands, because if you need a specific color right away, you can pay the 2 life so it comes in untapped. You can get a Dwarven Mine. It's technically a mountain, and it'll give you a free 1/1 if you already have 3 or more mountains, which is kind of funny. It's also very flavorful. But you can also just get a basic mountain untapped, you get immediate mana, and you just keep ramping. And the last chapter is when it gets really insane. Making a 6/6 flying haste is powerful on itself. If it was just that, I would say this is a fantastic card. But when it dies, it makes 14 treasures. That's insane amount of mana generation. And you can play this card in a deck that likes to sacrifice things. So you just sacrifice it immediately after attacking, and then you ramp to the moon. It's also strong in dragon decks because it creates a dragon. And in dragon decks, you want to ramp. So when it dies, it'll give you so much stuff. But the best deck this card goes in is Korvold Faker's King, because whenever you sacrifice a permanent, you put a counter on him and then you draw a card. And when he attacks, you sacrifice another permanent. So you sacrifice your dragon immediately. He makes the 14 treasures. And then whenever you sacrifice a treasure, you will draw a card and put a 1/1 counter on this. So you will draw 14 cards. 14. And then you will have 14 mana to play all of those cards. And your Korvold, if you have nothing else, will be a 19/19. So you just have to sacrifice 2 more things and then you can one-shot people. That is absurd. And Korvold really isn't the only card that synergizes with treasure. It is a huge archetype with a ton of decks. I googled treasure commanders, and these are all the commanders I got. It's massive. Magda being another funny one. You can sacrifice 10 of your treasures and get any 2 dragon from your deck into play. That is so powerful. It's really good with Zayatora because you can sacrifice your dragon immediately at the end of your turn, and then you'll deal 6 damage to a random thing and make 17 treasures. So it is absolutely absurd in treasure deck, but you don't need to run it in a deck that cares about treasures for it to give you a crazy amount of value. So yes, once you play this card, you'll have to be patient before you get to the crazy stuff. But in a commander game, you most probably will, and if it works out, it will give you so much value. This card is insane. This card looks fun. It's really flavorful. So yeah, absolutely love this card, and I can't wait to play it. That's all I have to say about this amazing card. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Please comment, like, and subscribe. And yeah, have a good one.